that set up. Move that there. Move that there. Where'd it go? How did freaking Windows? Where did Windows go? Is that it? That is not it. There it is. There it is. Okay. Live chat, contest open, alerts. Copy, close. Yeah. There we go. Ah, stupid cold. There we go. Okay, and there we go, and okay, so apparently you heard my mumbling before I went live, and when I turned my mic on, I muted my mic. How's everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? No mic. I have a mic. I always have a mic. The question is it on or not? That is the question. So the mic is always there. We always have the mic. It's just, is the mic on or off? All right. Look at this wonderful mess. So we got more orbiters. So there is a difference between the 2.5 and the 2.0. We'll figure it out. I'm sure it's not that big of a deal. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And then I do have a Lancer that I can use if I need to. And then, you know, the cool thing about the A4T is if you want to swap out your extruder in the future, you just print a new adapter plate and move on with your life. I kind of like that. So, how's everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today that there was no hot mic? I know I make it a point as somebody who live streams, I make it a point to always try and, if there is any possibility that what I am doing is broadcast to the world, and once it's on the internet, it's forever on the internet. I'm very... I take note not to say or do anything that would be compromising. It's just a good habit to have. Don't want to end up like Dark Side Phil. So it's always a good idea to, you know, practice proper etiquette when you have computers that can literally broadcast whatever you're doing to the internet. So don't say anything around the computers. Don't the computers are always listening. Especially with the AI, you never know. ChatGPT is on to you. The clankers, they're out to get you. You know what else is out to get me? I don't know, something. I've been sick all week. If you're wondering, I was hoping to do a bunch. I was like, heck yeah, this week we're gonna do some Oblivion streams on Twitch. Yeah, no, I've woken up every morning like absolutely. I don't know what I have. It's just something that's making me super lethargic. I don't know if it's just I'm not sleeping good, or if I just like seasonal change, or what, because it's finally like cold. I am just like out of it all week. I've got something, and I don't know what. Like, I did have a scratchy throat the other day. I couldn't talk, which nothing is worse than, you know, what do you do for a living? I talk. What can't you do right now? Talk. So yeah, school's bringing over. Well, little guy's been in school since September, so it's not like, you know, it's like surprise school, but so what are we doing today? Today we are hopefully, if all goes well, we're going to finish up all the tool heads for this, and then we'll plan how we're going to mount them. I did look for fans. I don't have any 4010 fans that I trust that I could put in this. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to go with 4 tools for now. The A4Ts are a bit fatter. I know you can fit 5 on a 350. We got a 330. If we get 4 tools, I'm happy with 4 tools, I'll be honest. So yeah, the plague is hitting my house. Yeah, it's kind of going around right now. I was going to get my flu shot this year, and then I'm like, you know what? No, because I'm not going out anywhere. And then it's like, oh yeah, the little guy. So, is what it is. Laziness, plain and simple. It's not laziness, it's being sick. Like, nothing is more, okay, as somebody who is a live streamer and who watches live streams, watching a live stream of somebody who's not in the mood to talk isn't worth it. Like, I have canceled streams. I don't do it often, right? We've been pretty good with 3 streams a week for, like, the only time I cancel is if I, like, have something else going on. Nothing is not as fun as somebody live streaming who doesn't want to talk, right? Either they're just, you know, unfortunately personality wise, or they're, you know, sick, or they're under the weather or something. Like, a live stream where there's no talking isn't worth doing. There's no real point in doing a live stream if you're not talking. There's nothing to do. A 350? No, I got a 330. We're using the 330. I'm using the tall boy because I want to try and avoid the top hat. Trying to avoid the top hat. So how's everyone doing today? Don't forget, every stream we give away a spool of polymaker filament. So link in the video description, enter for your chance. Go down there, do that now. While you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. If you spoil last night's episode of Pluribus, because I haven't watched it yet, because I got it after my wife went to bed and we watched it together, and I was a good husband and I didn't watch it. So if you spoil it, it's an instant ban. And while you're down there, don't forget to join the Discord and all that jazz. There we go. I think Discord link's in chat. Go join the Discord. It's fun times. Yeah, it's an oddball size 2.4. Oh, you're asking why it's not a 350. The V2 that we're putting this in is what I call tall boy. It was my very first Voron, which was a V1.5, which was a 300 by 300 by 400 V1.5. Back in the very early days of Voron, sizes weren't as standard. There was only, like, at the time when I got into Voron, the only Voron that existed was V1.5. I think V2 had been teased or shown when I first got into Vorons, but hadn't been publicly, it was never actually really publicly released. Eventually the STLs were put out and there was never a full release of the 2.0. There's only like 50 of them were ever built, according to serials at least. But the V1.5, for those who don't know, was an 8-inch bed. It was like 230 millimeters. So people did a lot of oddball size frames. So I built mine at 300 by 300 by 400, which if you took that frame from a V1.5 and just reused the frame and built a V2 in it, which is what I ended up doing, it works out to like 330 by 330 by like $394 or something like that. Depends on the tool head and the bone tube and whatever version of the V2 it is for full Z, how high the bed sits, stuff like that. So we're using that as the basis of this stealth changer, which, full disclosure, thank you LDO Motors for materially sponsoring this stream series. They have provided me with the kit that we are using for the stealth changer build series. If you are interested in getting an LDO stealth changer kit of your own, you can purchase it where fine LDO products are sold. Check out your local LDO reseller. So there's that. So anyways, we're going to use that because I don't need the height. I don't need the height because I have a 400 VZ-Bot right back here, and I've got the Venture XL, which is 600 millimeters cubed. So I don't need another tall Voron. I have a tall Voron. So what we're doing is the plan is to build it in this oddball size frame so that I can avoid using the top hat. I want it to be a singular monolithic frame. I don't want a frame and then a top hat on top. I want it to be one piece. Yes, I know I'm going to lose Zed. I'm okay with that. How much Zed will we have? I don't know. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Whatever we get is what we get. So there's that. And then also it already has a Kraken pre-installed because I put a Kraken in it a while ago, which means it's going to be easy for us to up it to 48 volts for the motors, because I want them 48 volts for the motor, so we can do the Z go boop, 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 boop. Insert mom joke. So yeah, so last stream, we started building tool heads because we have to build at least 4 tool heads. I have the printed parts and most of the components for 5, but we're building 4. Because I don't know with the A4Ts, they're a little bit wider than the Ant tool head. And I don't know if we'll be able to get, because the size is like, oh, you can fit 4 on a 300 and 5 on a 350. And I have a 330, but I'm using slightly wider tool head. So I don't know. We'll get what we get. Plus it's got to fit on the shelf. That's another reason we're not using the top hat. So where we left off, we had 2 tool heads mechanically built. We need to install orbiters on these 2. We are going with orbiters. The LDO kit does come with hardware, or they sent me hardware to build Galileo extruders. I'm going to save those for something else, I think. I'll put a Galileo on something. I like it, Figaro. So instead, we have a mix of V2.5 orbiters and V2.0 orbiters. As far as I'm aware, functionally, they're near the same. I think the V2.5 has slightly better gearing or something, like, but for what we're doing, good enough. Also, we have these kitted out with Luke's Labs Tube Compacts. We got the Chibi Tube on here. If you want to get a Chibi Tube for yourself, check out lukeslab.com. I don't think I have a link in the description. I should probably fix that. Use code Canuck and save a little bit of money. And disclosure affiliate. So we're going to be running 0.4 nozzles with Chibi Tubes. We got Stealth or Nighthawk. So hopefully we can get, basically I want to finish mechanically building the tool heads, install all the tool head boards, and then wire up all the tool head boards. So today is just going to be just plugging away at this until it is done. Rip and tear, or the opposite of rip and tear, until it is done. I thought we were going to install a stealth changer on the Venture. So here's the thing. The Venture has kind of gone through a few revisions. One, good thing I didn't bother trying to put the stealth turtle, the turtle box on it, or any of this other stuff, because of the reliability issues that I've had with the printer. It's now printing reliably, but I'm still having this weird, I can't figure out why it's doing this. Here we go. So I believe this is on the y-axis. Okay, so it's hard to say because this print is on an angle, but you'll see. This side ain't too bad. We got a little bit of bulging there, whatever. That's nothing. I'm not concerned about that. So this was printed, this part was printed like this. Okay, so just for reference, this part was printed like this, front to back on the printer. Okay, so printed like this. So this side, this is X travel. Okay, so that's the back of the printer. This is the front. So X travel. So just the tool head moving along the X gantry. Not bad finish. Why? I've got this MOAR ripple that is just a nightmare. I have tried it with and without smooth idlers, and it made no difference. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on there. It's on the inside of the part. It's on the outside of the part. Yeah, it's, I don't know. I haven't printed anything. I haven't printed on that printer in a week, or since I printed that part, because I got to figure it out. I think tomorrow night is going to be a faffing around with that printer stream. So yeah, so it is mechanically working fine. My camera isn't focusing. Focus. Hi. And considering everything off the printer, the first thing I do is I hit it with a sander. It's functional, but I got to figure out what's going on there. IS value on the Y. The IS looks really weird. That's the thing. That is the thing. Because here's the thing. At first I thought, you know, I had tooth idlers in there. Okay, I put I swapped it from, is the printer on or off? I think the printer's off. I swapped it from the idlers that came with it, which were smooth idlers, and I swapped it to tooth idlers, thinking that, because there's only on the XY joint, I was thinking, hey, that might help a bit. But the input shaper, here, I'll show you. So here's the X right now. Okay, so this is the X. That's pretty good. Okay. And here is the Y. So this is with smooth idlers. That's pretty good. One bump. We got one hump. That's it. Previously though, okay, so there's the Y. We're good there. And then the X was Garbo. The X was Garbo. This is with the tooth idler. So I'm thinking something was up with the tooth idler that I was trying, where it was just, the belt just did not want to rub on it. Like, I don't know if it was rubbing on the flange or what, because it had the tooth idlers have much bigger flanges, but this was a go. So this is with the tooth idler, and this is with smooth idler. Obviously, smooth idler looks much better. But on the Y, we're having this weird resonance, and I don't know why, so maybe we'll play around with it tomorrow night. So yeah. What about this little bump? I have no idea. But it's so small, I'm not too concerned about it. And it's on the X. It's the Y we're having the issue. But we'll play around with it tomorrow. Tonight's not the day with that. I removed the tooth as it gave me. Yeah, I went back to the smooth. So today, though, we're not talking about that printer. We'll play with that tomorrow night. We're working on this. So let's, you know, as the Black Eyed Peas said before they censored the song, because you're not allowed to say that word anymore, or after they censored the song, because you're not allowed to say that word anymore, let's get it started in here. So we have an orbiter to build. So I think the spacing is the same on these. Also, look, I have a full set of proper Allen keys for once. So enjoy the stream, put your favorite tunes on, or actually throw me on your second monitor, and we got a printer to printer build. And then while we're doing this, you know, we'll yap, we'll talk. Anything, what's everyone up to? Anything exciting? And then, yeah, so I got to figure out where to put the screws I was using for this. M316s. M316s? My feet are cold already. I was smart. I turned the heater on this morning out here, and I aimed it at the ground, specifically to try and warm up the concrete. I'm like, I'm going to try warming up the concrete before I go live to see if that helps. Guess what? It didn't do shit. I kind of just took my heater and aimed it down a little bit. See, it's right here now. I have it up higher so it warms my buttocks more. Actually, I'm going to lower it. I raise it up so that it heats more of the garage, but I'm wondering if I lower it, it'll keep my my feetsies warm. Where did I put those M312s? M2.5. Or not 12. Were they 12s or 16s? I can't remember. Or 16s, yeah, M3 16s. We got the T-nuts. Can I put them in this one? I'll just grab them out of another bag. Have you not gotten any anti-fatigue rubber mat? I had a mat over here and then I got rid of it because it got like destroyed from just stuff building up in it. And then I haven't replaced it yet. I probably should. Probably should. I mean, I wear shoes. I'm wearing comfy shoes right now. And by comfy shoes, I mean I'm wearing 3D printed slippers, but got a Victory Tech TFT50 with my wife for Christmas, printing case for it. Nice. I have the TFT50 is the screen that I have on this printer that we're using here. So one thing is both of these extruders were on printers already that that are in storage, and I didn't feel like undoing the whole wire harness to like pull out the wires, so I just kind of cut them. So I'm hoping the colors are in the same order on all Victory Tech products. I'm kind of hoping. So yeah. And I'm hoping the whole pattern is the same here, which I think it is. Yeah, it is. Cool. Sweet. Keep it there. There we go. About the new V2 to replace my 6-year-old serial number V2.0. Works like a charm, although it squeaks a bit. It is hilarious that, like, if you think about it, the V2.4 is old. The V2.4 is, I think, let me check here. That can't be right. No, that can't be right. The Ender 3 came from March 2018. It's that new? March 2018. The time difference from the release of the Ender 3 to the V2.4 is shorter than the time from the 2.4 to now. Like the V2.4, for those that don't know, the Voron V2.4 is a 5-year-old printer. Like, how can you see when it was created? 8 releases, there you go. Yeah, like the V2.4 R2 is from 2022. Like, V2.1, 2.11, 2.2 is April 2020. 2.4 is May 2020. We're at 5 years of this printer. 2.2 was April? Wow, from April to May, that doesn't seem right. Oh wait, I think this wasn't public yet. Yeah, I think this is like, maybe it was only a month? April, May? COVID lockdowns made us work on printers quick. Those COVID lockdowns sure spurred a lot of development. But yeah, like, it is hilarious for those that don't know how old the Voron is now. Like, so it's funny. I love it when I see people like go on like the Bamboo Lab subreddit and they're like, I can't believe how good my brand new Bamboo Lab H2DDX48, whatever version they're up to now, is so much better than my Ender 3. And I'm like, bro, that's like a 7-year-old printer. Of course it's better. Or they're comparing it to like a Prusa Mark III. It's like, bro, the Prusa Mark III is from like 2017. They're ancient. So I always find it funny when I see those comparisons. I forgot to measure this. I should have cut, 1 second, I gotta take this out. Because I gotta cut another Bowden tube. I think 5 years is so long ago. Time is relative. It is like, as somebody who, you know, my kid is 7 years old now. He'll be 8 next year. Time is relative. It is one of those things, as you get older, 5 years is not a long time to me, but it is to, like, if you're 15 years old, 5 years is a third of your life. But when you're 40 years old, 5 years is an eighth of your life. It's all about perspective and whatnot. So, like, it is definitely one of those things, especially, like, you know, I know there's people older than me in chat, but once you're closer to 40 than 30, days fly by. Days just fly by. Yep. Like, it is hilarious when I think of, like, I pull up a YouTube video or something that I watched a while ago, and it's like, oh, this video is from 2016, and it's like, yeah, that video is 10 years old now, almost. Like, next year will be a decade since we lost Harambe. Like, it's all been downhill since then. Ever since we lost that damn monkey, everything's gone to shit. It's holding the universe together. Okay. Every decade. Well, you know what's funny? It's one of those things, like, okay, once you leave school, years change. I think it's a big thing. When you're a kid, you view it like a year is like September to June, or at least here in Canada, because it depends on where you go for school. But like when you're a kid, you go off of like, oh, the start of the year. Like, I think mentally you view the start of the year as September, as like when you're younger, because that's when schools are, right? School is September to June, at least here. I know in some places in the States, it's like August to April or what, I don't know, whatever it is down there. But up here, it's September to June. So, but then when you become an adult, September is just another month. It doesn't mean anything anymore. It's just September. So then for you, a year is like, well, a year, a proper year. I remember I had an N64. I had an N64, had GoldenEye, Legend of Zelda, Mario Kart. What else? I had something else. I had a couple games for it. Those were the big three. Perfect Dark. I never had Perfect Dark. I had Rogue Squadron. I had Rogue Squadron, Pod Racers. The freaking sound of... I still have the sound of Sebulba's Pod Racer burned into my head. The boom, 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 boom. And yes, I know, I watched the Game Awards last night. And I know it was... The fact that they didn't call the new Star Wars racing game Pod Racer annoyed me so much. Also, Jeff Knightley or whatever your name is, you gotta figure out how to make your awards show better. Like, I love how it's like at the very end, for those that play video games, you know, Half-Life 3 won, but like the whole show, it's like, oh, we're coming back with a series that hasn't had a major release in years and decades, and everyone's amped and excited, and it's freaking Mega Man. Nobody gives a shit about Mega Man. It's like, yeah, okay, cool, the game will be probably pretty good. And then it's like, and next we have the most revolutionary game. We're gonna end it with the most revolutionary game ever. The studio these folks, you know, they're from these other game studios. You know, when they don't tell you who worked on it, they just say, oh, from people who worked on previous games. It's like movies. When you watch a movie and it's like from the producer of this, and it's like, that's usually not a good sign. And it's like, oh wow, what amazing game are they going to end this with? A 5v5 hero shooter that's free to play. Whoop-de-doo. Nobody cares. It's like, I think the hero shooter market only exists because it's a lottery. Everyone is spending oodles of cash trying to develop hero shooter games on the off chance they're the one that becomes popular and makes a shit ton of money. Because it's like, if it becomes popular, it makes a shit ton of money. But the problem is, most of them don't become popular. For every, you know, for every Overwatch or, you know, Marvel Rivals, there's 20 million Defenders of the Crown or whatever the heck the games are called. So, or Concord. Remember Concord? Sony likes, let's put $500 million into this game nobody's ever heard of before. I'm sure that'll do good. It didn't. Although they announced a new Divinity game from Larian. Larian announced a new game, just Divinity. So it's, for those that don't know, Divinity Original Sin is like this third types of, I think they've made like, they made Divinity, Divine Divinity or Beyond Divinity. They made like some RPGs in the Divinity universe. Then they made Divinity Original Sin, which took place 1,000 years before them, which was an RPG. Then they made Divinity Original Sin 2, which takes place between the two RPGs. It's their own world, right? And then they got, you know, they made a ton of money off of Baldur's Gate 3. And now they're pretty much free to do whatever they want because, joy of joys, they are still a privately owned studio and they can do what they want. And so now they're making a new game called Divinity. Just called Divinity. And if you haven't seen it, go watch the trailer and make sure there's no kids in the room. Because holy shit. Yeah, may Sven never sell out. Help us, Sven. You're our only hope when it comes to good games. Also, the Mega Man. Honestly, I don't care about Mega Man games. Like, it's cool. Like, I think I've played 1 or 2 of them at one point in my life. But, like, they were never this huge. I think they're just popular because they were kind of easy to make back in the day. And, like, they were a product of their time. Like, now you want a good side-scrolling game. You're looking at, like, you know, games more akin to, like, Hollow Knight. That's where, like, the market is for side-scrolling games. Everything else is kind of small and niche. Did I put the Bowden tube in here? I had a Bowden tube in here, right? Yeah, I got the Bowden tube, because otherwise there'd be a Bowden tube on the table. And yes, I know I have to take these screws out to mount this, but that's a problem for future Taylor. Okay. So, we now have all of these put together. So, A4T toolhead, stealthchanger.com. How do you spell stealth changer? Stealth. Okay. So now, I have to put these on, I think. How do you put the dock together? Or not the dock, the tool heads. So we got the A4T, print cal to suit XOL. Hey, they added the note! They added the note! The game of the year mixed music for Silk Song at VJ sucked really hard. Yeah. I love how the Silk Song guys were like, yeah, we're not gonna fly halfway around the world for an award show where they just kind of list the award we win as like filler, which they did. Also, yes, Claire Obscura deserved to win a bunch of awards, but it's getting really annoying watching the gaming awards where it's like one game just wins everything. it's okay for a game to like win game of the year and not win its category. Because sometimes like, some games just deserve to win an award. Like, you know, it's not going to win game of the year, but it's a really interesting, like, you know, what's Death Stranding 2? Death Stranding 2, not game of the year. It's definitely not for everyone, but like for artistic direction, it should have won like best artistic direction or something instead of Clair Obscura. Because Clair Obscura was game of the year. So when it's winning game of the year, it doesn't need to win every other award. You can give out some of those awards to some really niche stuff that, you know, has a vision. You know, Hideo Kojima, you crazy son of a bitch. You make some whack shit, but it's substance. It's just aura. And I love it. And it's kind of sad it didn't win anything. Okay, how do I actually mount this though? Modular dock, door buffer, top hat. Okay, so I gotta build, because that's the dock, the shuttle. So I don't need to build this because I have a CNC version. But how do I put together the the back plate? Each compatible toolhead has its own back plate to get. It is critical. Please reference this. Oh, here we go. Shuttle build guides and back plate build guides. Here we go. Back plate build guides. There we go. Hopefully I printed the right one. A4T. Okay, that looks correct. Okay. There we go. Because I think this mounts to it. So let me put the PCBs on this. We'll get the PCBs mounted on this, and then we'll put the back plate on. Because I think the back plate, like, literally just kind of, yeah, just mounts in like that. I think. Yeah. Yeah, the back plate just goes boop. Yeah, it just mounts on like that because this allows it to get picked up by the carriage. So if you don't want to use top hat, you may want to consider a custom back panel so the build can enter. Yeah, we're gonna figure that all out. This is why, by the way, I'm not printing everything. I'm kind of like, we're doing a step, figuring out what we need to do next, and then I'm printing the parts for that and doing the next step. Because we're doing a lot of weird custom shenanigans, especially when it comes to the back panel for this printer, because we're gonna be doing some weird shenanigans. So we're gonna have to figure some stuff out as we go, kind of thing. So get some Nighthawks on this. So let's see, does it come with the standoffs in the case, or are they in that? Okay, no standoffs in there. Or did I steal the standoffs out of this case? Where are the standoffs? Are the standoffs in here? Wife is an esports coach. Is that a thing in school now? Like, when I was in high school, I remember when I was in college, I remember my college trying to start a college esports team. I don't think it went anywhere. But you want to test your back plates to shuttle fit. How do I test that? Here's our shuttle. Here's our back plate. That seems pretty good, I think. I know there's supposed to be pins and everything. What we'll do is we'll put the PCBs on that, and then we'll play with this. I gotta find where are the standoffs though. They should have standoffs. I might have lost the standoffs out of one of these cases because I think I stole the standoffs for one of the kits. For okay, I don't see the standoffs. There's a Nighthawk. Okay, where are the standoffs? They're the standoffs. Okay. I should have just broken down all these so that it was just like one thing. Dimensionally accurate. Yeah. I'm hoping everything is dimensionally accurate because I printed it on Prusas. So we'll see. It's all printed on the Core 1L. So we'll see. If it's good, yay Prusa. If it's bad, boo Prusa. We'll figure it out. Okay, so we got this and we got that. Oh man, look at these itty bitty jumpers. I'm gonna put these itty bitty jumpers in a bag here so I don't lose them. Okay. So, mount this. And pretty sure these are FPV standoffs. These are not the right standoffs. I printed the wrong things. Somebody told me that these were the right ones to print, and these are not the right ones to print. Does anyone have a link to the Stealth Changer standoffs or plate mount for the Stealth Changer or the Nighthawk? Because somebody's like, oh yeah, these are the right ones. Somebody in chat's like, this is why I don't listen to chat. Somebody's like, yeah, those are the right ones. Those are not the right ones. So we can't put those on. Poopy. Okay. Hi, Steve. How you doing? So let's put this back in the bag. Let's find the right ones. Because somebody told me to print the wrong ones. That's why I don't listen to chat. That's what I get for listening to chat. Print the wrong thing. Let's see here. A4T toolhead. Yeah, because this is what I printed. I printed toolboard mount. Somebody's like, this is the right one. So I printed it and it's not the right one. So LDO orbiter Nighthawk mount. Universal mount, generic orbiter 2 mount. XOL plus that. Well, we don't have XOL, we have A4T. So what's the difference between these two? What's the difference between these two? So this one centers it. That one doesn't center it. So we'll probably go with this one because this one actually centers it, I think. Because that will center it in the middle. So we'll go with the centered one. So we'll do this one. So download that file. Load up Prusa Slicer. Well, it's not so much the M3. Well, M3 standoff is an M3 standoff. Yeah, but the PCB mount is not correct. The fit between the Nighthawk 36 and the EBB, it is different. The EBB 36 Gen 2 has a lot of stuff mounted on the back of it, so you need to make sure there's clearance. And basically, I went looking for all the through all like the orbiter mounts, and none of them fit. So I had to design my own mount. Okay, let's bump this up because this is a important part. 555. Well, that is a bit annoying because now we won't be able to get as far as I was hoping to today. So I guess we can work on these mounts then. So let's work on these then. Work on these. Shoot. Well, that was a lot of beautiful CFASA that goes in the garbage. That's great. Okay, so let's build these then. Okay, so first things first, we need to mount heat sets. So what we're gonna do is grab my little jar of heat sets here. And I'm gonna put all the heat sets from all the kits in there because, you know, it's nice that they give you a bunch of different heats, like, it's nice, everything's nice and organized, but it's kind of annoying that like every single kit has its own box of stuff. So it's like, got to break it all down. Okay, that might be enough for now. I'm just gonna consolidate everything. A screw is a screw is a screw. Consolidate all this stuff. All right, got my heat set press. There we go. Jeez, I touched the iron. I know it's off, but I had like a little mini like, oh shit moment. All right. Our cable. Unlimited power. I'm gonna have to fix this. It's getting a little loose on me. Oh well. Okay, let's see. So we got those 4 heat sets. Let me just make sure I don't need to put any more in. Oh, we got a heat set up top there. So we got those 4 and then 1 on the back. The fact that you could have like a full 3D image that's mobile inside, this is actually a really cool way of doing instructions where you have a full 3D model that you can spin and it shows all the different like steps. This is actually really cool. Like, not gonna lie, this is really cool. Although there was something with the pins. Install the bottom pin. Install those pins. Mesh the backplane using that. Secure with that. Test the operation. So should I just follow? I'm gonna build one first, see how it is, and then we'll build the rest. Okay. So we'll build one first per the instructions, make sure it works good with our carriage, and then we'll go ahead and build the rest. I think that's probably the safest way to do it. Right? Right? Left. How can I hold this flat? It don't fit. It don't fit. I need something smaller. Let's wear. I want something flat to rest this against while I do this. I need to have you, but you're not enough. How does it work on a table? That would be great for building. What? When in doubt, parallels. There we go. Nice and flush. Okay. time is it? It is it's 2:50. The 3D ending face. Oh, it's really nice. It's actually really nice. Also, I am finally playing Cyberpunk, and holy heck. Like, I got the game when it first came out. I put, I don't know, 20, 30 hours into it across, like, I played a character for a bit, realized I didn't know what I was doing, started over, played a bit more, and then, like, the game was kind of broken on release, so I stopped playing, and I haven't touched it since. And the DLC was on sale, so I bought it, and I'm finally playing through it now. And I'm like, holy hell, this is fun. And I am loving the story. Like, combat, yeah, it's kind of okay. Like, the actual gameplay, it's kind of okay. But I am so digging the vibe and the main story so far. Also got Keanu Reeves chirping in my ear the entire game. I forgot he was in it. All right, I have 400 hours. Damn. I started one character because I figured, you know, usually when I play a game like that, I play through it twice. I play through it once as generic dude with sword. So you know, just guns in Cyberpunk's case. And I got about 10 hours in and I realized I am not really having that much fun playing the game as a shooter. Because I was just like going through the main story. I wasn't worried about side missions or anything. I was just going through the main story. And I'm like, I'm honestly not having that much fun. So I started a new character playing as a, with the corpo background, playing a netrunner build. And I'm having so much fun. Because I just walk into a room and just fry everyone's brains. It is so much fun. Okay, so that's that. You pick different character backgrounds and it becomes a different story. Yeah, so I started playing generic dude, nomad background, like default character. And then I'm like, okay, I'm not having fun. So I started a new character, female corpo. I'm playing her as a complete bitch. And I'm having so much fun. I'm playing as just a cocky bitch, and it's so much fun. I'm loving it. Okay, install the 6x3 magnet, making sure the polarity attracts the backplate to the shuttle. If using a tapered magnet, secure it with M28 flathead. Okay. So, good thing I threw all this stuff in one bag, because now I have to find the magnets. Magnets. Are these the magnets? No, those aren't the magnets. Are these the magnets? They seem magnetic. Playing that way will cut out some content. Playing what way? Is it corpo bitch? I mean, I'm getting along with everyone. I'm nice to the characters I like. Put it that way. I'm nice to the characters I like. Everyone else, I'm just playing as a bitch, and I'm loving it. M28. Okay, these aren't labeled. 6.3? 6.3, so I'm assuming these are the M28. Okay, so we got to put one M28 there. This one is not a screw-in magnet, so I have to like put a little drop of super glue, and that goes in here, and it's opposite of this magnet. Oh, as an evil? No, I'm not playing an evil character. I'm playing a stuck-up bitch. There's a difference. Like, there's a difference. Like, oh, if I get what I want, I'm happy. But you screw me over, I'ma fry your brain. And I haven't even touched the DLC yet. I I haven't even touched the DLC yet. The LDO kit come with screw in? Well, I mean, this is what I got. I could double check. Let me go through all this. If you guys are wondering what I'm doing for the next couple minutes, I'm looking for screws or looking for magnets because that's what Buddy wanted me to look for. Look for magnets. So we're looking for magnets. Here, I got another bag of magnets. Oh, these are screw-in magnets. These ones are screw-in. Okay, so we do have some screw-in magnets, but this one is an M28. Oh, wait, no. Oh, sorry, I'm reading this wrong. I am reading this wrong. I was reading that wrong. You are correct. They are screw-in magnets. It's a 6-3 magnet with an M28 flathead cap screw. You are correct. You are correct. Will a CB2 be enough? What do you mean a CB2? CB2. What's the C? Clock? No, that's CW2. What's CB2? CB2. What's the CB2 again? Sam Trim, $10. Cheers and appreciate. Andrew didn't fund the Friday fund. It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Oh, the BigTech CB2. Should be fine. Like, it being a tool changer doesn't put really any much more demand on the on the SoC, the Linux SoC, because remember, all a tool changer is macros. It's instead of it doing one tool head, it's now heating up another tool head. Like, what you need is USB ports, and this has a breakout board, so it's fine. So yeah, I'm like, I knew it was a BigTech, but I couldn't remember what it was off the top of my head. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You shouldn't have any issue. Okay, so that goes like that. So that magnet is good. So now I put this in here. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, getting that in there is gonna be a bitch. What screw do I need? I need an M28 flathead cap screw. Oh my God. Okay, maybe consolidating all the screws was a bad idea. M28 flathead. M26 self-tapper. Okay, I'm gonna need you guys. Don't need you. M28 self-tapping? No, I need a flathead cap screw. Unless these are supposed to be self-tapping. They look like they might be self-tapping. So let's put these self-tappers there, just in case I don't have M28. I don't see M28 flat-headed cap screws. I see M28 self-tappers, yeah. So I'm assuming it's M28 self-tappers is what we use. Okay. CSK per comment. What? Document typos CSK per BT. Well, comment was retracted. Self-tapping, okay. And I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna tell the printer to start printing now. The chamber is already at 45, so that's pretty good. Okay, and now I'm gonna need the littlest, ittiest, bittiest screwdriver for this. Okay. That ain't gonna work. Will you fit through that hole? You will. Son of a bitch, you don't fit. Okay, you do kind of fit. You do kind of fit, okay. Okay, that doesn't even line up. Okay, so I gotta go in with a ball Allen key. That's annoying. Hopefully no, that's not the right size. Will you fit? No. Will you fit? Kinda. Okay, the fact that this is not, I don't like that. I need like a ball end Allen key that's really little, and none of the ones I have that size are ball. We do not be balling right now. We are not balling. We are not balling. Because the only Allen keys I have that small are not ball. We cannot be balling here. We are not balling. We be balling. Trying to get this stupid thing in there. Well, at least it's kind of started. Take it out, maybe. I love working with magnets. Did I ever tell you I love working with magnets? There we go. There we go. Now it's in. Okay, so use that to push it in. That works. Tacos are Chinese. I am not a big taco fan. That's unfortunately, I think, because of my palate. I have a pretty boring palate. So when I do tacos, it's like, wow, meat and cheese and a wrap. And that's basically tacos for me. So I don't get like tacos. When you go all out on tacos, I think are the superior food. However, I don't eat tacos like that, unfortunately, because I have a pretty limited palate. So unfortunately, I kind of have crappy tacos. So for me, I prefer Chinese. Okay, so we have that installed there. Okay. Search for Chinese McDonald's. We had Chinese McDonald's. It was pretty good. There was one right outside Big Tree Tech. I had to have it once just to say I had McDonald's in China, okay? You can't go all the way to China and not partake of the Mickey D's. It's... I make it a point every time I go to a new country, I have McDonald's in that country. M36, there we go. These screws should not be tightened. They preload adjustment and will be backed out at a later step. Okay, so we'll just put them in for now. A hot dog on a bun of taco. No. A taco requires a hard shell. In my opinion, a taco is a hard shell or a soft shell, but it's got to be a flatbread. So if you were to take a hot dog meat and wrap it in a soft shell or an unrisen breaded shell, it's got to be a flatbread. Then it would be a taco. Okay. Is cereal a soup? Oop. Why is my phone ringing? Why is my mom calling? 1 second. All right. No, it's like my mom normally doesn't call me, so like we text. I don't call. I'm a texting person. So it's like, oh, missed call from my mom. Uh-oh. And it's like, no, she butt dialed me. I'm going for gyros. Well, gyros are basically like, so like if you take a taco, okay, you take all the stuff, you take meat, cheese, taco seasoning, okay, and you make the meat, you make the cheese, whatever topping, and you put it in a soft shell. At what point does a taco become a burrito? Is it like once you wrap it, once you fully envelop the not the condiments, the components, once you fully wrap the components, does it become a burrito then? Like, how does it work? What is the, when does a taco become a burrito? Install the M412 pin and secure it with M38 button head cap screw. Okay. So we have M412. So M412, and then an M38 button head cap screw. When you add rice, it's a burrito. Do you need rice for it to be a burrito? Is rice even like technically, is rice native to North America? Like, can you get rice in North America? Is rice, I know you can get it now, but I know, is it a traditional, like, all right, so this pin's got to go in. Oh, getting this pin to go in is going to be a bitch. Line it up. M38 button head cap screw. 36. M3. M38 button head cap screw. There we go. Rolled tacos are mostly wrapped. Rice and refried paste. Yeah, when does a gyro become a taco? Is cereal a soup? Is Chef Boyardee a cereal? Like, cereal implies the grain. Like, cereals, a cereal is a cereal whether it's in a bowl or not. Because cereal is a grain. This is a really annoying thing to build because a lot of the screws you can't really get at. It's like, how are you supposed to tighten that screw? Do you come in from the back? Do you come in from the front? You gotta like come in on a weird angle. I don't like that. Is mayonnaise an instrument? Okay, and now I gotta get that out. Okay, so that goes there. Install that and secure with an Allen wrench. Install the 2 pins at the top for just enough plastic to hold them in place. Do I not screw them in? Mesh the back plate in the shell using, okay, so we gotta, oh, I see. All right, so we got M312, so we'll put 2 of these in. Are nachos a salad? Yeah. I mean, well, a salad implies like leafy green, right? So whatever mixed with like leafy greens in a bowl is a salad. Good thing, I hope that was an extra. I hope they gave me an extra because that one is gone. I'm gonna use a screw to get this started. If I have an M38 screw that I won't drop because I'm a klutz today. I am such a klutz today. cheesecake, a pie. Why you guys are just making me hungry? This is not doing my pre-Christmas diet any favors right now, just so you guys are aware. Trying to lose a little bit of weight before the holidays. And you guys aren't helping. Building an absolute behemoth, still in there with 5 tubes from the hip, prioritizing food. Yeah. I've said this multiple times over the years. The stream itself is meant to be entertaining first, and then we build printers second. Like, the whole point is this is a fun little live stream where we faff about and build shit in my garage. It happens to be we build printers a lot, and a lot of people use them for guides. But the point of the show, there is no point of the show. It's just faffing about building shit. That's the point of the show. So, it's always funny. I'll get a comment on a live stream every now and then. You talk too much. Why'd you go on this tangent? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, because I want to. Okay, mesh the backplate and the shell together using a small end of an Allen wrench. Push the top 2 pins in the rest of the way and secure with M310 button head screws. Okay, so we have our carriage. Put that in there. And we line it all up. Nice little snap. And then we need to push those back in. So I'm going to use something a little flat and push these pins in the rest of the way, apparently. There we go. There we go. And then they held in with M310 button head cap screws. Button head cap screws. Okay. I have half of mine just to dump out all the screws from this kit into my acro bins and just pull from stock. I might do that. You know what? We might do that tomorrow. Tomorrow might be a screw sorting day because I have so many kits here of like partial screws I got to clean up. I think tomorrow we're just going to do a yap and chat. I'll put a printer on the desk so we'll print and we'll sort screws or something. It's been a while since we've done a good old fashioned screw sorting stream, and I think we're due for one. So we might end up doing that tomorrow. Is it a Voron? No, it's a Flying Gantry Core XY. Okay, I got a feeling I'm spinning the pin doing this, but it should be fine. Do I have one of those screw sorters? I do not. Most of the screws are in bags. If anyone has a link to a decent like screw sorter for M3 and M5 screws, like a single piece, not one of those like 20-piece things you got to build, but like a quick, I can print it and be done with it type thing. Link it in Discord, and I'll run it off for tomorrow. But like the thing is, like, I have all the screws for this kit, so I have 5 boxes of screws like this. Okay, I've got these 3 boxes of like screws left over from builds, along with a couple more. Like, I'm just gonna take everything and put it into my acro bin storage so I can go, okay, M316s, M316s. I'm just gonna condense it all down so we're not looking through bags for the rest of the stream with the build series. Does that sound good? That sounds good. Okay. So we have that. So we put those in. We've done that. Test the operation. If the shuttle and backplate do not move smoothly, tries loosening the 2 top screws. Twist the pins and retighten while meshed, and that a small amount of resistance is not necessarily a bad thing if you believe the weight of the tool head would simply... Okay, so we got to be careful here because this should pop on and off. Oh. Oh, geez, that's perfect. So this just kind of... So once you get over the magnet... So just... Ready? I'm gonna let the letting the magnet do all the work. Watch, it's aiming downhill. Okay, everything lined up. Oh. I don't know about you, I think that's pretty good. This is, I got a new fidget toy. I got a new fidget toy now. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. We'll have to do a little bit of adjustment pre-tensioning with those screws, but that is good. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to play with those screws for tensioning, but yeah. Yep, we're good. Okay. So what's step 8? Set the preload for the backplate by backing out the small increments until they both make contact with the magnets on the shuttle. Easy way to ensure contact is by using a slither of paper between the screws and magnet cylinders at offset. Okay, so I can actually look through and see. So they got to stick out quite a bit. Like a glove. Bueno. Okay, that is one done. Now we just do it again many more times. So we can assembly line this now. We can assembly line this. I'm assuming these extra pins here are for, like, if you had to make the other back plate. Because we're using this pre-made back plate. So I'm trying to figure out why we have, like, what are these M413 pins for? Is it a different carriage? I'm guessing. Organize it. So these go there. Gonna be a lot of cheap car packs. Yeah, we got 4 of them already installed. Cheers, Luke. Also, next week is going to be the members stream, just so you guys are aware. We're doing the monthly, every month we do a channel member stream. So for channel members, Patreon supporters, or if you're sub to the Twitch, I threw a link in the members chat as well. We do a live stream for just channel members and channel supporters every month. And since it's Christmas, and normally we do it the second to last week of the month, and with New Year's and everything, we're going to do it mid-month this month. So next week will be the channel member stream. So that will be next week. So if you want to participate in that, help support channel, content I create, consider becoming a channel member, Patreon supporter, or you might luck out and somebody might gift you some memberships because people are generous and like to gift memberships. So I know I am building 5 of these. I'm building 5 of these, even though we're only putting 4 tool heads in this, just in case. I want the option to be able to swap out if I need to. Like if I biff a part or something gets broken, it's nice to have a backup part on hand, ready to rock. Make sense? Makes sense. Am I a member? If your name in chat is gray, you are not a channel member. Remember, YouTube is different than Twitch. On Twitch, it's a sub. On YouTube, it's a channel membership. So, difference between the two. Have to wait till January for what, Lancewood? I do love the fact how I've been playing Christmas music and nobody's complaining, because it's actually pretty decent lo-fi Christmas music that's not like obnoxious. Plus, I don't know about you. My YouTube channel is good enough to let me, do this as a job. It does not do good enough to afford Mariah Carey's wage. So, yeah. Tube compacts. Oh! Well, I mean, to be fair, like, yes, Luke graciously hooked me up with a bunch of tube compacts. They were, if you went to 3D Printopia and you held one in your hand, I have it now. He basically just gave me all the sample ones that he had at 3D Printopia and just went, here you go. So I have like pre-production, fingered by everyone in the audience models. And guess what? They work great. So if you're wondering how delicate they are, they aren't. So they got that going for them, which is nice. Oh, I gave them all ISO baths when I got home. I just put my finger right on a heat set that I just put in. That was hot. Now we know why you're sick. I mean, to be fair, I've had them for a couple weeks now, so I don't think I got sick. Like, they would have got me sick a while ago. Like, one of them is in the Venture XL right now, so. Go. One. It is really annoying doing this without it being secure. Phrasing. I'll just start using cyberpunk slang. These tube compacts are pretty preem, definitely worth the eddies. Don't be a gonk, get one. Chrome out your printer today, choom. Screaming in pain from standing on a screw barefoot or... Oh! Down Under Maker. I have a son who's into Legos. I have stepped on many a Lego piece. There's no way that's English. Of course it's English. Cyberpunk English. Have you played Cyberpunk? Very good game. Now that they fixed it. It made me buy no corpo either. I mean, it's kind of funny how like, what is the? It was somebody tweeted it out. It's like, man writes book called like The Torture Machine, as like a tale about do not ever make the torture machine. And now, he made the book in the 80s, and now it's like, AI company announces that they have created the torture machine from the popular book series, Don't Make the Torture Machine. Let me see if I can find it. No, what is it? Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. Oh, the Torment Nexus. In my book, I invented the Torment Nexus as a cautionary tale. Tech company. At long last, we have created the Torment Nexus from the classic sci-fi novel. Don't create the Torment Nexus. How many videos and media have we gone over where AI ends up good? Not often. Okay? Not often. A lot of time it ends badly. Yet we are running right into that corpo future. We're just, yeah. But hey, them short-term profits. Okay, well, oh, that's hot. Let me turn this down a bit. There we go. It's really awkward to hold this for this because they don't sit flat, so I have this like weird stand I've kind of cobbled together with 1, 2, 3 blocks in parallel, so I can have it sit somewhat flush while I push these in. There we go. The end times. I'm telling you, 20 years, we're either going to end up like the Star Trek future, post-scarcity society where all basic needs of society are met, or stock up on your Mad Max assless leather chaps. One way or the other. Start hoarding gasoline. Because either it's going to be real good or it's going to get real bad. It's like, why is a cyberpunk dystopia future where AI and corporations control our every lives? Why is it got to be so boring? Where's my mantis claws and like, you know, all that other cool fun shit? Why do we only get the boring dystopia part of the cyberpunk future instead of like the cool cybernetic stuff? More like in The Expanse. I gotta watch The Expanse. I watched the first season. I need to catch up on it. I've heard it's really good, but I haven't finished. I only watched the first season. Because like I watched the first season, and then I was gonna watch because I binged the whole first season. I watched it all in one go, and then I was gonna do the same thing for the second season, and I think then it was canceled, or they didn't know if they were gonna renew it. And I was like, okay, well, this first season ends kind of nice, so I'll just leave it at that. And then they renewed it, and then they finished it. Or no, didn't Amazon buy it or something? I can't remember. Anyways, long story short, I thought it was over, and then they renewed it, and then I'm like, okay, I'll wait and see. And then it finally finished, and it's like, not bad. Yeah, didn't they have to like write out one of the main characters too because he did something IRL you're not supposed to do? Okay. So now we will go through all this together. So we put the heat sets in. Now I got to install all these itty bitty magnets. So that's going to be fun. This week felt like filler. I haven't seen this week's episode of Pluribus yet, so don't spoil it. And yes, I know it's kind of not a filler. Here's the thing. Nothing from episode 8 and 9, which are the last 2 episodes of this season. I wish we had 24 episode seasons, but it is what it is. But nothing from the last 2 episodes of Pluribus have been shown. And all the trailers and teasers and everything they've talked about has been episode 1 to 7. So we're going into episode 8 and 9 completely blind. And I think that's why episode 7 might be a breather. Is it worth it? I'm really liking Pluribus so far. I am really digging it. It is refreshing take on like zombie alien invasion, world takeover type scenario. And it's surprisingly refreshing because like, you kind of get it. You're like, yeah, okay, it's horrible, but you know what? It ain't that bad. I'm really hoping all these magnets are the same way around. Oop, nope, wrong one. Where's the little one? This is the little one. This is what I need. Like it's very strange. Yeah, it's kind of like Vince Gilligan did an interview. He's like, what if there was a zombie and like zombie take over the world, but you kind of understood and somewhat sided with the zombies. And like, it doesn't seem that bad to be the zombie in a zombie scenario. That's kind of the take behind it. So I'm using, to put these magnets in to push them in, I'm using a skinny parallel because it's flat, so that I can just evenly put force on it to push it down. And I'm hoping I can cheat and just kind of pull screws from the same mass again and again and again and again. This 382. Gonna buy it. Yeah, definitely. YARNet is where I source all mine fine programming from, for those curious. I dropped the screw and I was afraid of it falling, and then the magnet just grabbed it and it's like, nope. Okay. One. Remember how like when Netflix came out and we were like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Because it was like $8 a month, at least like it was dirt cheap. And it had everything. And then every other company's like, oh, let's do our own thing. And next thing you know, we're right back at cable. And now Netflix is buying everything up again. And it's like, at least like, it'll be like, oh, buy Netflix. Oh, you want the HBO package? Well, that's an extra $5 a month. And it's like, didn't we just get rid of this? At least now you can watch everything on demand. That is nice. That part is nice. Reasonable and reliable. Yep, the Valve method. That's why Valve is so popular. It's like, here's everything. It's a reasonable service at fair prices, and it all just kind of works. And you're like, yeah. Hard to argue with that. Praise be Gaben. Hopefully Netflix get WB. Here's the thing. Do we either want money-grubbing corpo scum to own Warner Brothers, or do you want, I know it's gonna upset people, but you want Larry Ellison owning it so that he can turn it into another right-wing, like media wing, like Murdoch did with Fox. Because Paramount don't have $100 billion to do a hostile takeover. But Larry Ellison does, and Larry Ellison's in bed with the US government. And they want it so they have more control over what you see and what you watch. And they want to turn like CNN into another Fox News. Because they're not buying it for Harry Potter. They're buying it for control of the media. Whereas Netflix just wants it for pure money grubbing reasons. And it's like, shit, okay, I'll take the money grubbing. It's like, pick your poison. It's like literally the lesser of two evils type scenario. We are literally in like the lesser of two evils. Yeah, what it should have been, we should all be mad at Zaslav for running WB into the ground. That's who we should be angry at. You shouldn't be angry for companies taking advantage of the system. You should be angry at the system being the way it is, right? I'm literally doing the same thing 5 times in a row. So of course we're gonna talk about stuff. I'm starting to understand Johnny Silverhands a bit more now. Well, he already owns CBS or whatever it is, right? I need another, I'm gonna have to raid another box here. Oh man, this is annoying. Yeah, we're definitely breaking down these screw boxes so that everything is in, digging through like 5 different boxes of the exact same thing for the individual stuff is getting really annoying real quick. Printing Tally from South Park. Is it a multicolor print? Need you. As open. Yeah, if OpenAI is allowed to pirate all the media in the world for profit, I'm allowed to pirate a movie to watch on a Saturday night. That is my argument. Now, if anyone complains about the fact that I partake in the YAR for videos and whatnot, if OpenAI can steal every piece of media under the sun for profit, dang gun it, I'm gonna train an AI in my brain to how you know, how Chainsaw Man the Res Arc was. I'm gonna acquire media to educate. I'm gonna train an LLM with all the media I've acquired. The LLM just happens to be me. There's my argument. MDL gifted 10 community memberships. Cheers and appreciated. Make sure you thank him if you got him. Got a gifted membership, make sure you thank him. That's not a bad argument. Yeah, that's my argument going forward. If all these companies are allowed to literally train data off stolen media for profit, as I'm not doing profit, I'm just enjoying content on my own time. Yeah, the organic neural network. Otherwise known as the onion. The video will try. I got a 3090 in my desktop. Which actually runs LLMs pretty good, I'll be honest. At least the smaller ones. I don't mind playing around with them at the local level. It's just, I really, like, my whole thing with AI is, it is not bad technology, but I think it's gonna be like the internet, where we had this giant bubble when, you know, in 2000, who was there? You know, old timers like me, we remember the .com bubble. You know, I was, you know, almost a teenager, but I do remember it when it happened. And it's like, technology comes out, overpromise, overpay, overhype, make a shit ton of money. People realize the technology really isn't ready yet, and everything that's being promised isn't going to pan out the way they said. Everything collapses, and then over the next 20 years, the technology kind of gets to a point where it's actually viable. And I really think LLMs are like that. It's like, yes, there is valid use cases for this technology. Medical apparently loves it. Same with coding. Makes sense there. But like, you notice how every time somebody comes out with like an AI generated trailer or movie or commercial, everyone just shits on it? Do you really think a studio is going to spend a ton of money developing an AI movie, put it out, and expect to make money on it? Nortel, yeah. I'm Canadian. I have parents. I have one still, but believe me, when Nortel crashed and burned, people talked about it because a lot of people lost their retirement savings on that. Like, I remember my parents mentioning, you know, overhearing my parents talk about how much they lost because a lot of people were invested in Nortel. $3090 is a good card. I am playing Cyberpunk right now at 1440p, which, oh my God, I went from a 24-inch 1080p to a 27-inch 1440p. I get it now. I get it now. I was like, oh, I'm fine with 1080p. I'm fine with 1080p. 1440p is just big enough at where my desk is, where it does fill my entire field of view. And I'm like, oh, it's so nice. But but I have to play with the settings a bit more. I used to be able, 1080p, I just max everything out and move on with my life. I can't quite do that at 1440p, but because of the higher pixel density, I can turn some stuff off and lower some settings and not notice it. Like anisotropy filtering. Like you don't need to worry about the jaggies as much when you have that much pixel density. So I get it. Okay, I gotta go digging for more flathead screws. Every one of these boxes has 2 flathead screws that I need. So I need to go through this box now to look for 2 flathead screws. This box. This is annoying. And I think there's still one more I gotta dig for. 4K. Yeah, 4K is kind of cool. The problem is 4K at this far from my face is a little overkill. I think. Like literally my computer monitor is this far from my face. 4K at that range is just too much. I think. Okay. No, they're there. Ortel was killed by the guy who created Baynex for the Arc Synoptics. Those sound like cyberpunk companies. Synoptics. HDR screens. It's not HDR. I was at Costco and my wife's like, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, I don't know. So we were at Costco and they had a 27-inch MSI monitor on sale. And I just like, she's like, do you want that for Christmas? I'm like, sure. I grabbed it. That was my Christmas gift. Yes, I already have it set up. I think that's like a tradition with me and my wife. We buy each other our Christmas gifts, like usually about a month before Christmas. And we just give them to each other before Christmas. It's like, what do you want? Okay, I'll order it on Amazon. Okay, here you go. When it comes in, it's like, we don't bother doing like the unwrapping and everything. It's like, I know what you got me. I was there when you bought it. What is putting it away for a month and not using it by us? Nothing. At least now, if there's a problem with it, we can figure it out. I need to dig through all this for one more bag because 1, 2, 3, 4, shoot. Is there one more? Nope. Okay, so it is in here somewhere. Okay, I got one. I mean, I don't really need it because it's part of it's the extra one, the 5th one, but I want to have them all set up. Okay, T-nuts, don't need T-nuts. Okay. M36 button flathead cap screw. M36 flathead cap screw. M36 flathead. Here, that. There. Oh my god. Yeah, we are definitely doing a screw sorting stream tomorrow. So, tomorrow is definitely a smoke 'em if you got 'em stream. Shoot. Nope, okay. Do I not have them? I might not have them. I might have to dig through my storage. Nope. Yeah. Consolidating these down is kind of annoying, and it's going to be a priority because it's getting annoying. I got 2 32-inch Acer curved screen. My setup used to be all nice and even and parallel, and now it's not. But I've got a 27-inch 1440. Next to it, I got a 24-inch 1080p, and then above it, I have a 2560 by 1080p. It's like a really cheap widescreen, and they're all flat panel. I'm not a fan of curved screens. Not a fan of curved screens. I mean, I don't hate them. No. I haven't bothered looking for one. Yeah, okay, so M36 flathead. Do I have M36 flatheads anywhere? Because I don't have 2. No. Nope. Okay, so we do not have, I mean, to be fair, I don't need them, but they would be nice to have because this one is going to biss them now. So if I need them, I will source some, but for now, I am missing 2. So I don't have, oh no, you're not flathead. You're not flatheads either. One. I have 1. It has 1. Okay. Well, we got 1. A14. Yeah, we're building all the carriages. This is kind of the thing with the stealth burner build, is you basically, like, it's actually, if the printer is already built, the build is basically just build a bunch of tool heads and put them on a rack. That's basically it. So we already have the printer built, so I just have to build a rack to put them on. So that's what we're doing. So is what it is. Yeah, I am missing 1. Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll make do without it. I'll find one later. I think I have flatheads somewhere I can borrow. Okay, so now I gotta install that. So that means I gotta dig through this all again. Yay! Oh my god. So I need pins. Luckily, these are all in their own little thing, so we're good there. I'm just trying to figure out, I got, because I need M412s. They're both M412s. M412, and then it doesn't say what size those are, so I'm assuming those are also M412. Because I have M412, and then I have M413. So I'm assuming the M413s are for a different carriage, I guess? Like, that's all I could think of? And then we need a M38 button head cap screw. Button head cap screw. All the pins are the same. Well, I know that. Then why do I have, I'm just trying to figure out why I have M313s. Because the kit comes with M313s and M312s. I'm just trying to figure out why the kit has both. Unless, like, oh, if you use the stealth burner carriage, you use those ones. And if you're using this carriage, you use these ones. Like, M313. I don't know. They're made in China. That's all I know. Because right now we're installing this one bottom one on all of them, so I'm going to do all of them at once. So get all these installed. What was that? For the kids, I got a 50-50 or 50-60. Ooh, 50-50. Yeah, it really sucks how expensive everything computer. RAM has gone stupid. I watched an LMG video where they're talking about like the new Threadripper, and they're like, yeah, this stick of RAM, when we were writing the video was like $7,000. And then while we were prepping for the video was $10,000. And now filming the video is $17,000. And it's like, damn. Like, oh shoot. It is obscene how expensive all this shit has gone. And I do not like it in the least bit. Ones are for more stable propane since they taper the bushing slightly. Okay. Well, we're gonna use the stock ones for now because they are stock. When's the Avatar movie come out? Is that this weekend or next weekend? It's Friday, so next weekend, yeah. November 17th, okay. Yeah, that is probably gonna be the only movie I see in theater. I think that's the only movie I'm seeing in theaters this year. I don't think I went to the theaters for any movie this year, but I'm gonna go see Avatar because that is just, it looks so good. Remember buying 4 megabytes of RAM for a third computer, I paid $1,000. Yeah, but that was like, it's weird. It goes from like, the technology is new and everything's expensive, and then everything gets cheap because it becomes widely adopted, and then it becomes really expensive again because it's like demand goes up. It's like cars. Cars used to be really expensive when they were new, then they got really cheap, and now they're back to being expensive. Go see it in 3D. I don't have an IMAX theater near me. So like the only option for 3D I have is just like regular cinema 3D, which I might do. The only thing I don't really like is 3D movies on regular screens tend to be a little darker. Like I'm lucky where I don't have to wear my glasses in a 3D movie. Like I have to wear the 3D glasses, but like I don't have to wear these. I mean, technically I don't need to wear these right now. I just think I look better with glasses. But I'm nearsighted, but movie theater screens are usually not bad enough. My eyes aren't that bad. It's just if I'm out and about all day without glasses, I get headaches. So even old GDR4 is expensive now. I'm lucky. My desktop, I have 2 sticks of 32 gig RAM. So I've got 64 gigs in my main desktop. So I'm okay there. Like I don't really need any new computer hardware anytime soon. I'm lucky. GDR5 laptop. But let's see what this is up to. Oh. Yeah, I bought this kit last summer for $120. A week ago it was $400. Now it's $433. One 32 gig stick is $512. Jeez. 32. Oh my God. Man, I feel sorry for Valve. Great time to come out with the Steam machine, eh? That is insane how expensive all that shit is. That is insane. Like, how can they even justify that? Like, Can you even justify that? I don't think you can justify that. That is stupid. That's just insane. We might have to use these longer pins because I think we might have to use these pins. Those longer ones. I don't know if I have enough in this kit. I should. I think I do. Huh. What do I need here? Now we put the top ones in. Put those in. And secure with M3 10s. M3. I'm grabbing from stock. I'm not grabbing from stock. I don't have stock for M310s. I bought 3 kits of 96 gig DDR5 for $200 earlier this year. Yeah. No low ballers. I know what I got. All this for chat jippity. Yeah, I've got my desktop is an AM4 motherboard. AM4 motherboard. I have a 5800X, 64 gigs of RAM, and a 3090. So let's just say I won't be upgrading anytime soon. Not that I need to, but why aren't you going in? There we go. Ordered a framework laptop. I got 64 gigs for. Yeah, you know what's funny? Apple RAM pricing is now looking reasonable. Like pricing for Apple memory now is reasonable. Framework was kind of nice because they're like, yeah, we're not increasing our prices, because they put out a tweet where they're like, yeah, like last year, only like a quarter of people when they bought our systems, they bought the RAM option. Like I sourced my own for my framework laptop. So they're like, yeah, last year, like a quarter of people when they bought hardware from us, they bought the included, like they optioned RAM instead of just sourcing their own. Because you just wait till like Amazon goes on sale and you buy a stick, right? Or you buy whatever stick's on sale. So you don't have to buy OEM RAM. But the fact that now it's like, yeah, they're like, yeah, now like everyone's buying the included RAM because it's cheaper, because they're not increasing their price until they have to reorder. So really nice of them to do that. Other companies, as soon as RAM went up in price, they just upped the price regardless of their inventory. But Framework's like, yeah, we're not increasing our price till we actually have to reorder. So whatever is in stock was at the old price. And they put a thing on their website where you used to be able to buy RAM from them standalone, and now like they only sell RAM when you buy a computer. But then again, if you remember during the early COVID days when the GPU prices went insane for the first time because of crypto and COVID, how many people were buying pre-built computers, ripping the GPU out, and then selling the computer, just, you know, basically buying it just for the GPU? That was a thing. I don't think we're at that point with RAM yet, because I think everyone just increased their prices absurdly with RAM. even if they like, you know, already paid for it to put in an inventory. Apple M3, M4 is a good GPU chip. It's around RTX on paper, but almost no software games are on it. Yeah, Joel, it compute-wise, it ain't bad, but it does not pull anywhere near the amount of watts, and it can't run games. Like, it can barely run the first Death Stranding game. Like, it is funny where people are like, oh yeah, Apple could totally run games. It's like, you're telling me this little thing that's sucking down 45 watts can run a game as good as my 3090. It can't. It can't. You know. Like, it has to use so much, like, whatever their version of DLLS is. And frame gen, it, like, relies so much on that. Like, every time I watch a video where there's, like, you know, I watch a Snazzy Labs video or something where he's, like, reviewing a MacBook, and they try to run, like, the 1 or 2 games that actually run okay on a Mac. And I'm like, that looks like ass. It runs like ass and it looks like ass. How is this impressive? And this is on, like, a $5,000 laptop. My Framework 13 runs Baldur's Gate better than, you know, a MacBook. What is this hitting off of? Oh, it's the screws. I gotta put those screws in all the way. There we go. I gotta play around with all the screws. I'll do that later. Just put them in for now. Okay, and then the last one here. So I need to find 2 more of those pins, which hopefully are in one of these. Otherwise, we're gonna have a bad day. Might not have enough pins. How did I lose one of these boxes? I don't think I lost one of these boxes, unless... I don't think I lost a box. And how am I missing? Like, these are M313s. M312s, there we go. It's like, how did I lose pins? Okay, I shouldn't have, but they're right here. And now I need M312s. 2.5s. Eight. 3.8. 3.10. Or 3.12. This thing I play games on my MacBook then is. Oh yeah, as long as you. Yeah. With RAM getting sky high, people might look into MacBooks. Yeah. Like the MacBooks themselves for a laptop, they're really good. They're really good at what they do. It's just, from my understanding, they have a lot of problems with like sustained loads, unless you get like the really high-end ones. Like the MacBook Airs have problems with sustained loads because they overheat and they have to like throttle down. But like functionally, like I wanted to get a MacBook, but I ended up going with the Framework because guess what? I can just put Linux on it. That's what I did. Like the only reason, like honestly, like the only reason my desktop doesn't run Linux right now, because I don't play it. I think it's like Fusion. Fusion 360 is like the only thing keeping me from running Linux on my desktop, because I don't play competitive games. So, you know, I don't need DRM for like Vanquish or Vanish or any of those, like what's Valorant or anything like that. Like I don't play any of those games, so I don't need to worry about like Windows, you know, those DRM stuff. So I think it's like Fusion 360 is like the only program I somewhat regularly use that doesn't work in Linux. Learn FreeCAD. I tried FreeCAD years ago and it drove me insane because the UI and how you operate in that environment, I just could not stand. Apparently it's much better now, but it's like, well, I'm sorry, I already learned Fusion. So, and it's one of those things where going from one software that you really know how to use to another, it like you know, it's like some use shift to rotate and some use middle button. It's like really annoying when you get those all mixed up. Oh. I was told Fusion is coming to Linux at a train the teacher session. Cool. I mean, when it does, it does, and I'll probably switch over to it then, but... My framework 13 is hooked up to a GPU. Yeah, if you travel a lot, like, so I don't travel a lot. I travel maybe a half dozen times a year for a weekend, and my laptop does everything I need it to do for that stuff, I'll be honest. So I don't really have an issue there. And then when I'm at home, I have a full-size desktop that I use. So I'm quite good when it comes to like my setup. I don't need like an eGPU or anything like that. But if you traveled a lot, I could totally see having, you know, a decently good laptop without a GPU and then just having an eGPU. So like my framework 13 is the AMD one, the first generation AMD one, not the AI Max one or whatever. And it does everything I needed to do computationally while I'm traveling great. Battery life is good enough. It ain't like 24-hour Mac, but I don't need it on for 24 hours. Like 10 to 12 hours is fine. I can watch the entire Lord of the Rings series while flying between continents. I'm good. And then if I need to, it'll run Fusion. It'll run, you know, DaVinci Resolve. Decent. Well, actually, no, it won't do DaVinci because it's Linux, and DaVinci on Linux requires a dedicated GPU. So I use Kden Live when I'm editing on the go, which is good enough for the stuff I do. My Legion 5 does everything I needed to, processes Fusion and slicers just fine. Yeah. Like, here's the thing. If it works for you, it works for you. Ain't nothing wrong with it works for me being your excuse. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I pretty much live off that principle. Yeah, it works fine for me. I have no idea what I'm doing for dinner tonight. I think my wife and the little guy went out. I heard him come home from school, and then I heard him leave. But I wasn't paying attention at the time, so it could have been her coming home from work and then going to get the little guy. Or she either came home from work and went back out after to grab the little guy and hasn't come home. Or she didn't come home from work. I don't know. I don't know if they're home or not. But I don't know what I'm doing for dinner. I'm hungry. Laptop for light gaming, get me out of the office. I mean, for light, like how light gaming? Because you can go to like Costco and just buy some generic MSI with a 5060 in it. And that's good enough for most like light gaming duties. Like define light gaming for you. Like, are you trying to run Cyberpunk on Psycho settings, or like, you know, you just need something to play frickin' Stardew Valley? Like what I like doing when I travel, I use it as an excuse to play older RPGs. Stuff like, you know, Mass Effect and whatnot. Like my Steam Deck. I have my Steam Deck loaded up with a bunch of old RPGs. There we go. Wow, all these are pretty nice. Okay, so that is all those carriages. Look at my carriages! So like they all are nice and... As soon as that magnet grabs, ready? Oh. Like a glove. Okay. So we have that. So that's good there. So now I think we need to mount the carriage to the tool head. How do we do that? I'm assuming they just kind of... grab that. So there's our extra. And we just... mount that on like that and call it a day. Right? What goes here? Because you put nuts in there. What screws into there? Why is there counterbore? What screws into there? Do I just screw from the back? Am I missing something? I got those two screws to screw into here. Am I missing something here? Go check the other printer that I have an A4T on. What did I do there? Oh, it is so cold on this side of the garage. What do I have on here? What do you have? Nothing. There's nothing. And I don't have those screw holes there. That's odd. That's kind of odd. That's where the banana. Go look at the documentation. So let's go back to the documentation, because I will say the documentation is a little bit all over the place, because it's like, okay, shuttle build guides backplate. Okay, but how do I mount it? Modular dock. So that's all of that. Door buffer, cable, tool heads. Okay, so that's that. Calibration, build guide, and assembly. Back plates. We already put the back plates together. How do we mount it? Go to tool heads. Somebody said tool heads. Tool heads. It is, the website's kind of borked. Okay. Can we scroll down anything? We scroll down there. Like, are we just following the A4T guide on how to mount it, I guess? Because we have that there. So that goes there. Oh, yeah, so those two go down. But what goes, okay, that's that too. And I guess screw does go in there. Yeah, I guess they just screw in from the back. Okay. Yeah. So it's just extra screws. I'm just trying to figure out why it's counterboard. See, it's counterboard there, but you got nuts in there. So obviously it's for screwing from the back. So I can put two screws in the back to hold it there. I'm just trying to figure out why they're countersunk. Like, is there a specific reason they're countersunk? I'm just a little confused. Just a little confused. Why they're countersunk? Yeah, okay. Okay, so get rid of these little support pieces here. Okay, some M3/8s. I'm grabbing from stock because I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. So you got to go this way. So. So you put those 2 screws in, you leave them out, because this is basically like the carriage on your printer. And that should, I gotta unscrew a bit more, a little too tight. Little too tight, too tight, too tight. There we go. And now we gotta get these long screws. Where's my M550? M550. What type of hot end is this? It is a tube compact, or the chibi tube, the chobe, the tubette, whatever you wish to call it. I like calling it the chibi tube, because it is Kwai AF. Okay, put that through there. Now, one thing I do kind of notice with these A4Ts, with the tube compact in the setup, I kind of have to like pinch it a little bit when I put these long screws in, because once you like stack up the hot end, the fans and everything, the whole thing just kind of like opens ever so slightly. So when I go to screw in the long screws, I just got to give it like, not a lot. We're talking like 1/2 mil, but just give it a little bit of a pinch and it all kind of lines up. Also, there's decent amount of room. It is curved here, so you shouldn't pinch any wires. So, and instead of me doing this like a Neanderthal, do a low setting. Yeah, hold it. And then I don't know what I'm supposed to use in the back, so I'm assuming M3/8s. It's usually M3/8s. M3/8s are like the go-to screw. If you don't know what size screw you need for something boron, try M3/8 first. If M3/8 works, you're good. If M3/8 doesn't work, you're not good. Okay, maybe M3/8 don't work. No, M3/8 work. M3/8 work. When in doubt, M3/8. Exactly. There we go. And then it's kind of nice on a stealth burner. You can't tighten those M3s that you use to like a shoulder bolts, but on the A4T, they leave this little hole through it. So if you have a long Allen key, you can just kind of reach in there and just tighten it up. So that's kind of nice. And there we go. That is one of our tool heads built. Obviously, we got to do some cable management still, but unfortunately, We got 40% left on the print for that. So there we go. There is... I fucked up. I fucked up big time. I fucked up big time. So yeah, we pushed out those screws. M550 isn't it? It's M545. Those are too long. That is too long. That is too long. We pushed them out, I think. Pushed them right out. I did not realize that. M350s. Huh. That's what I put in here, M350s. We might have a little bit of a problem here. Yeah, that's kind of fucked. Part of my fault set, but it's kind of fucked. I know you're not using exactly, but the problem is there's no, hey, by the way, if you're doing this, don't use this type. Like that's kind of the problem with this guide, is the fact that like it's a bunch of independent things together, but you have to, there's no like universal, you know, there's no universal bomb. You're basically following a bunch of different guides kit bashed together, and that in turn can lead to problems like we're seeing right now. So I'm hoping there's still enough meat here to kind of, yeah, that should be good. Okay, so I need 45. Do I have M545? M550. I have M545, but they are, the only reason I have this kit of extra long M3s is for the R2 or for the Astromech, because I do not stock M5 or M3 45s. I have 40s and I have 50s. Where did I just put my scale? I just had it. I just had it. Seriously. Oh. I don't think I have 45s. Yeah, those 40. 40. Yeah, all these are 40s. $35s. I've got a whole drawer of 35s. $50s. Yeah. Okay, I gotta, well, it's a good thing I'm building an Astromech. It's a good thing I'm building an Astromech so I can steal parts from it. Do not want to be doing this today. Oh well. It's gonna throw off my whole color thing too, because these are silver screws. Oh well. You're ruining my vibe here. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's much better. Hopefully, I cross-threaded enough meat on there that these are, or is this whole carriage euchred? No, this carriage might still be good. This carriage is good. That's why I built an extra. I built an extra just in case something like this would happen. Okay, put another one on. All right, so these guys in here, get them started. And take this. All our cables are good, coming out that way. Everyone's all happy. Okay. Go there. Put some epoxy in the bolt. I've done it. I've done it. It works. Just hope you never got to take it out. Or if you do got to take it out, it decides to unthread itself. Okay. Well, hopefully I don't need M345s for the Astromech build because I'm stealing all of them right now. Probably double check these too, make sure they're not, yeah. Where did I put the first one? Oh, there, there, come here. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy. Cut that, cut that, cut that. My feetsies are cold. This guy. Yeah, I've done it before. A good tip, not epoxy. I think it's wood glue. I've used wood glue. I'm trying to remember. Basically, you want something that will dry and hold its place, but you can still cut into it, right? So I've done it before with, I think, wood glue to fill a hole that I needed to re-drill. But then again, it was wood. So that kind of made it easy. Here is that screws lined up. Yep, those are lined up. Yeah, it was like a doorknob or something that the screw stripped. So I just like took the hole, filled it with like wood glue, let it dry for a little bit, drove the screw in. And now it's good. Okay, there's that. Oh, shoot, forgot this guy. Tighten these guys. Tighten that one. Zip tie. Yep, zip tie can work too. You basically, like, if your hole's like this and you're, keep in mind, clean kids. If your hole's like this and your screw's going in and out, okay, what you do is you just kind of take a zip tie and you put it in the hole, and then you put the screw in, okay? And then you put the screw in, and then it gives it more meat to bite into. Keep your head clean. Just because we're talking about screwing in holes and shoving stuff in doesn't mean you got to go to there. These are proper terms for building stuff. Drill hole bigger, glue in wood and dowel in. That is another viable option. But that is only an option if you're not lazy. Like I've done it with metal where I put a hole in the wrong spot or wrong size because it is hilarious. I mean, it's not hilarious. It sucks, but you get your apprentice, right? And you're like, the amount of times I've seen somebody drill, okay, I need you to drill a hole and tap it for 1/4 inch. And they drill the whole 1/4 inch. Not tap drill size for 1/4 inch. They just drill the whole 1/4 inch. And it's like, it comes back. Okay, I drilled all the holes. Okay, how are you gonna, but the tap's not going in. What do you mean the tap's not going? Well, the tap just goes right in. Well, what size are you drilling tapping for? 1/4 inch. What size did you drill the hole for? 1/4 inch. Oh, wait. And you're just like, so what you do is you either you move the hole over if you can, or you drill it bigger and then you just get your, you put a plug in and then you just weld around it. Or you just say F it and you just, depends what it's holding and how well it needs to hold. Because in my years, I may have peened around, like peened the edge over so that the screw has enough to bite into to hold something. If it's not structural, and it don't matter, like if it's a plaque, how much force is on a plaque? How much force is on a plaque? Do you really need like 1.5 times thread diameter into steel to hold a plaque? No, you just need 1 or 2 turns, right? It's a plaque. It's a plaque. Or yeah, you go up a size. Yeah, if you go up a size, that can work too. But sometimes that's not always viable. I mean, the amount of times I've broken a tap and then used a welder to get it out, that's quite often. For those that don't know, the trick is if you break a tap and a little bit of it's still sticking up, put a nut over it. Do I have a nut? I don't have any nuts. You just take it, you just put a nut over it, and then you weld the tap to the nut, and then you just use a wrench to back the tap out. It's usually only used on bigger taps, like we're talking like 5/16 or bigger, or like 3/8 or bigger. But I've done it quite a few times, and it works quite well, actually. It actually works quite well. So, what time are we at? We're at 4:30. This is taking longer than I thought it would, which I guess it's a good thing, because after this, I don't really have much to do, because the PCB mounts are still going. So, oh well. Or use a wood screw and a machine screw. That is sacrilege. That is sacrilege. Is a weld-on nut trick with bolt a few times. Yeah, or you just get the tap extractor. The shop I worked at actually had a tap burner, which was basically, for all intents and purposes, a very tiny EDM machine that only moves in the Z. And we had one. And that thing saved my butt so many times over the years. Because sometimes you break a tap and it's like, we need that hole. Right? And you're like, okay, well, I'll just remove it. No, it's like, you need to get that tap out now because we need that hole. And we cannot, like, you broke the tap. You broke it. And it ain't coming out. And we need that hole. And we can't put it on a machine to machine it out. So what you do is you get the tap extractor, which is basically a little EDM machine. You build up a little dam around it so you can put some EDM oil. And it just goes... It's on a mag base, and it's got a trode, just a piece of copper. You just turn the copper to whatever size you need, and it just goes, and it burns it out. It is such a handy tool to have in any machine shop. They're a couple grand. I think the one we had was like 5 to 8 grand, and it was beat to shit. It was beat to shit. But when you needed it, you just wheel it out, set it up. It's pretty shit simple. You just, how deep do you want it? How hard do you want it? Keep your minds clean. But literally that was the settings. How deep do you want it to go? And how aggressive do you want it to be? And it was all like just manual, like. It was like physical end stop on it. You just set it and it goes. Stupid nut moved. I gotta fix the nut. That's nothing on a $100,000 mold. Yep. Well, it's one of those things you buy it and you just use it, right? It's one of those things you just use. You have it for when you need it, and you need it a couple times a year. Like, you can build one. It's funny. Okay, are you ready? Because here's the thing. Tap burner. Broken tap remover, EDM accessory. So how much is this? So this is basically the machine. This is exactly what we had. This is exactly it. Okay. So you have this little box that does electrical stuff, and then you just mag it on and off you go, and it just burns out the tap. I've also used it to burn holes that I then tap because I was too lazy to drill parts in hardened steel. Where's the price? Can you just buy it? I love how, I don't think they have, $3,000. Yeah, for a random Chinese one. Is that, that's SFX, okay. Yeah, ours was orange, so it might be that one. But yeah, or you could just get, you know, hit up Cooper and the guys over at whatchamacallit, and just use their little EDM kit and build your own. Okay, what is going on here? What is going on here? Why does this not want to go in? It all works until I get to the very last one, and the last one doesn't want to work. Oh, because this is the one I'm not supposed to use. This is the missing one. I'm not supposed to use this one. It knows I'm not supposed to use this one. Yeah, request. I'm pretty sure I found the price for the one we had. It was like $5,000 to $8,000. That's what our shop paid for it. But it was a couple years. It was old when I got there. But it's really handy to have. It is really handy to have. Because, like, put it this way. In some shops, if you break a tap, you have to, like, send it somewhere else to get it fixed. Like, I've seen, like, I watched a video years ago on YouTube where it was literally a guy who runs a machine shop, and somebody came in, or he's like, okay, so today I'm going to show you how to remove a tap. It was like some video when I started in the trade. It's like how to get out broken taps, tips and tricks. And he's like, he had a plate, and he's like, yeah, these guys, they had it on the machine, and the machine tap broke. So they sent it over for me to remove the tap, and I'm going to show you a couple different things. And I'm like, they sent it over to another shop to get a 3/8 tap out? What the heck? I'm like, oh, he must be he must be making easy money off that. Because when I looked at things, his shop was like just basically a garage with a couple manual machines for like fixing stuff. So he was a fixer. And I'm like, that's like a decent job. Get to be kind of cool because you get to do different stuff every day. Right? Like, oh, I'm fixing this or I'm fixing that. Like, what'd you miss? Well, considering we're doing the same thing 4 times. Okay, come on, get up. There we go. You didn't miss too much. But we're almost done here. Almost done here. Really annoyed. Hopefully those work. Hopefully those work. Those better be the right mounts. There we go. So now we have 4 built and functional tool heads. Well, we still need to do the stupid PCB stuff, but we got 4 tool heads built now. So this mounts on the carriage, comes over, goes whoop, picks it up, off it goes. So we still need to put end stops in this. and a bunch of PCB stuff, but we'll do that on the next stream because we got to do the PCB stuff and whatnot. But that's pretty solid. That's a nice solid package, I will say. Like, I like the A4T. I really like the A4Ts. Okay, I got to put nozzles on these. Let's put some or actually, no, I'm not going to put nozzles in yet because it sits nice and flat without nozzles. So I'm not going to put nozzles in them yet because they sit all nice and flat. But I had to go digging. So we're going to have a mishmash. We'll have like a high flow 0.4, a hardened 0.4, and a couple brass 0.4s. So I had to go digging for V6 nozzles. Because it's funny, I finally got back into the V6 like nozzle ecosystem with the tubes, and I've just been using fat nozzles on the big guy. So, okay, don't lose this, I need that. You like to use with the tube compact? Well, right now I'm using 0.6s. I'm using a 0.6 carbide tip nozzle. So it's a copper nozzle with a carbide tip. It's a Fadus nozzle actually. And so far it's working really good. I'm just having these like, I gotta figure out why the the printer is functionally printing amazing. I'm having no issues with the printer functionally printing. It's just print quality on surface finish on the Y-axis is just funky. So, yeah. Okay, so we got 19 minutes left in the stream. So, unfortunately, I don't want to start anything because these prints are got 12% left, so that won't finish before then. I was hoping to get the tool heads built, so I guess we'll do that on Tuesday. So Tuesday, we'll continue on with the tool heads. And hopefully we can build the... So what I need to figure out, I have some parts printed here. So this is what I got to figure out. Did I only print one? I think I only printed one. I got to figure out what docks I need for this. I got to figure out what docks I need for all this. So I think on the Tuesday stream, we'll finish building the tool heads, and then we'll figure out what docks we need and go from there. Uses the short dock. Okay. Yeah, because it says it on here. So I need the A4T. I need the short dock. Because I think I printed the stubby dock. But where is the link to all these files? That's the A4T. It'd be really nice if this was a link, so I could just click that and it'd go right to it. Modular dock, so short dock and wide. So, yeah. We need this. See, this is what I mean, okay? This is the kind of short dock, stubby dock, okay? So I go over to docks, because according to this, I need the short dock, not the stubby dock. I need the short dock. But I go over here, I have stubby and standard. Stubby and standard. Also, where is the GitHub link for the files? Is there a GitHub link in here? Is there no GitHub link to the files in the page talking about the files on what to print? Okay, whoever is maintaining this website, you need links to these files. There should be links here. Instead of just linking to itself, there should be a link somewhere in here to have to these files. Because it's like, oh, I need the base. Okay. Well, okay, so I gotta go. Okay, I'll go get it started. Okay, where is the files? Introduction, where is the files? Modular dock. Okay, where? Getting introduction. No. Power and electronics. No. Hardware. Where the fuck are the files? Software. Calibration. Ooh. It talks about everything, but it's all self-referential. Where are the files? I know I can go to the GitHub. I'm trying to find the files on the Stealth Changer page. Like, I'm on the page here on how to build it on stealthchanger.com, and I can't find the files for the stealth changer or a link to them on stealthchanger.com. That is the kind of quality of life stuff that this project really needs. There are no, yeah, so that's the problem, because you're looking at the modular dock, and it should be, okay, I need to print this, right? Or you go to the toolhead section. Oh, I need to print the dock width wide, link to it. Short dock, link to it. Like, stealth changer GitHub. So now I have to have two tabs open. Backplates, end stops. Okay, so that's that. So where's the modular dock? There's that. Okay, docking, and then the docks are over here. Or no, that's tab changer. Okay, where the fuck's the docks again? Printing, assembling, docks. Yeah, so you have docks. Okay, so we got to go Dasher modular dock, STLs. Okay, A4T, back and base. And then you have this. This is what I mean. Just for quality of life, and for people like me this is how the brain works. It's showing short dock and stubby dock. And here it's just called dock. Is it short? Is it long? Is it stubby? It's base. It's not even called dock, it's called base. Short dock, stubby dock, dock width. I don't know. I don't know where dock is. I just have base. Like it's you have to keep wording. Wording is very important with stuff like this. So if it's called a base, it needs to be base in all the documentation. If it's called a dock, it needs to be this. If you're calling out subcomponents, you need to call out subcomponents. Like this is like one of the reasons I haven't gotten into the stealth changer so far, is because it's literally kit bashed from a bunch of different separate files and projects. And it's like, oh yeah, these guys' files work. And then you use some of these guys' files. The reason I built a Voron way back in the day, who remembers building 3D printers in like 2016 to 2018, looking at Thingiverse, where it's like, oh, you want to build a hypercube. Well, don't build a hypercube. Build the Hypercube Evo, but use this tool head. But if you use this tool head, you need to use these XY mounts for the motion. And then if you're using those XY mounts, well, they won't clear the bed. So you need to use this mod for the bed. Like, where you had to like pick and pull and you had compatibility issues, like the 50 millimeter screw thing, the 50 millimeter screw, right? Well, this replaces that, but there's no call out anywhere saying, hey, the 50 millimeter screws that you normally use for the A4T don't work on this. You need to find 45 millimeter screws. Like, this is the kind of thing that makes a project harder to get into for newbies. Yes, I know. If you're building a stealth changer, don't build a stealth changer as your first 3D printer. But this is one of those things, and I'm not harping on LDO. LDO just provides kit. They just sell kits. They sell the hardware, okay? Stealth changer team is responsible for stealth changer documentation. LDO just sells the hardware. To make it easy for people to get hardware, which I got nothing against that. But that's like one of the things when it comes to projects like this, is when you get to that point where it's like, I have to sit at my computer. It feels like I'm playing EVE Online here with spreadsheets. We're doing spreadsheets in space. That's the kind of the problem, because it's like you want it to be the best experience for anyone building it, right? You take all the time to develop this design and this tool changer and whatnot, and you want people to have the best experience, right? But when it's like, you know, imagine if I didn't notice that it pushed out all these screws. And I just go build them all up, and then I look, oh wow, I destroyed all my pieces and I need to reprint them all. Because I used the screws the manual told me to use, but these actually need 5mm shorter screws, which M345s are pretty much not a nominal screw. Nobody's really using those. So it's like, should this be modified to have clearance for it? Or should you call it out somewhere to use M345s? Like that's, as a kit integrator. LDO does test the kits. They do provide kits for betas. The problem is the Stealth Changer product or project covers a lot, right? Their kit comes with most of the hardware to build any of these tool heads. But like, I think the ant head is what they recommend. I think that's like what the kit is based around. But like the difference between this and this is just printed parts for the most part. This and this is printed parts. It's pretty much the same hardware. But you have this tool head, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 different tool heads that are supported by this project. And they're all gonna have their little intricacies, and there's gonna be problems. You're gonna have compatibility issues. You're gonna have like, it's just one of those things. And the problem is like, it's nice that they have this now, but unfortunately, this is gonna sound harsh. You've opened another can of worms. By making it easier, you've added more variables. You've added more variables. That's kind of the problem. It's like, honestly, it should be a standard. Like, it really should be like, does the LDO kit call out compatibility? LDO Nighthawk. Let's see what, or no, Nighthawk, not Nighthawk. Stealth Changer. Okay, so what does their kit actually call out? Stealth Changer has been regularly tested by drafters. LDO docs and GitHub base kit. So provides everything to start your Stealth Changer build. What's included that? So CNC shuttle, sex balls, hand. All hardware, power supply is not provided. Okay. So yeah, they're basically just providing the hardware for a standard kit. It doesn't say which one is, it does say on this. Voron, Stealth Changer. So we got the 5 tool head dock. I think he sent me the 350. But it's like, order this, use this, please note the following. Choose the number of tool heads, choose the size, choose the color. Note, that's it. Based on that, this is a tool changer design for that. These are provided configurable kits, meaning you can choose how many tool heads, so, which includes this, that. No hot end or extruder. Okay, they sent me some hot end extruders, but like this stuff. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like, you can see here they have ant heads on them. But it's like, I'm not critiquing the LDO kit here. I'm just, this is kind of the things you need to know going into a project like this. It's like, especially when you're like, I'm going to use this tool. I'm going to use this. It's like the moment you go off of reservation and you start like, well, you know, I'm just, instead of the ant head, I'm going to use the A4T. Same hardware, just slightly different printed parts. I like the look of the A4T. I like it more than the, I like it. I wanted to use it. And because of that, it's like, okay, well, I need different screws, but it's not called out anywhere. And you have to find out on your own. That's kind of the thing you have to, you're going to run into with kits like this. So, out there. The thing with it, Gergman, the only thing I could say about that is I use Stealth Changer on my stock Vorons, and I've started playing around with A4Ts. I haven't tried out all the different tools. I have a Jabberwocky kit here. We have a 2.4 LDO that I'm going to put a Jabberwocky in once all this is done, so that we can put the box turtle on something. But like, I'll be honest, I print ABS mostly. I print stuff that doesn't need crazy cooling. All tool heads are, to me personally, they're blobs of plastic that hold the extruder in the hot end and some fans. I like the A4T. You want to know why I like the A4T? It's one freaking printed part. You print the part, you snap, you put the fan in, you snap the duct in, you screw your tool head on, You put a buffer plate on top, you mount your extruder, you're done. I like it because it's shit simple. It's got 3 parts to it. 1, 2, 3. It's 3 printed parts. I love it. That's why I like it. It's 3 printed parts. It's simple. It works. It's simple. Like, keep it simple. Like as much as I like the stealth changer or the stealth burner tool head aesthetically, I love the look of it. It is definitely a product of its time. Obviously, people are moving more to more tool heads like this style versus like the monolithic stealth changer style, like the 4010s and whatnot. Do you have issues with CB2 when you install it on takeoff? Mine keeps rebooting. That takeoff, this doesn't have a CB2 in it. This printer has a CM4 with a takeoff tool head with a Jupiter board in it. Yeah, this is not standard at all. This is not standard. This has a whatever C board or whatever Big Tree Tech board in here. I think it's not the Leviathan. Octopus Pro, whatever Big Tree Tech board is that has a bunch of drivers and independent, not built-in steppers, but you can put like the CM4 in it. It's got a CM4 in it. It's got a takeoff tool head with the Jupiter board, which isn't for public sale. I didn't realize that. MAP, that's what it is, MAP. Yeah, I replaced it because I was having, remember this was the machine that I was having gremlins in the tool head where I just could not get this printer to work reliably. So I said, screw it and ripped it all out. And now it's working reliably. Yeah, it's a Manta MAP, I think. This nozzle I'm actually going to have fun playing with because I have a bunch of nozzles in here, but I have this one. I think it's from Fabrico. It's like a Fabrico, like, oh, that's a 0.6. I can't use that. Shoot, it's a 0.6 then. Okay, so I got a 0.4, some 0.4 hardens. Okay, I got to find more 0.4s. I got 0.4s. I've got a whole baggie of generic brass 0.4s downstairs. So there's an Armbian image for CB2 that might be worth. Yeah, I have the Big Tree Tech Pi 2 in the Venture XL, and it's been fine. The only thing I notice is the longer the machine's on, the worse the Wi-Fi gets. It doesn't affect it functionally. Like, it still uploads files just fine, but like, and then the frame rate's like 1 or 2. But if I were to reboot it, I would have like 15 FPS and it would load instantly and it works great. It's just the longer it's on, the worse the Wi-Fi gets. And I don't know why. So. Biggest lesson I've learned from documentation and then how I test it was to take my ego out of it. Yep. That is, it's one of those things where if you're doing documentation, you want people to be critical. Because when you look, like, this is one of the things like with Voron that, like, one of the reasons it takes so long to do the documentation is because you have a bunch of people that have been there since the design was literally file new in Fusion, now having to document how to build it. It's like, well, I know how to build it. Yeah, but you know how to build it because you've been messing around with it for the past like 6 months. How do you tell somebody who's never built a printer before how to build it? And you're like, shit. It's taking something that you know and like trying to simplify it as much as possible and try to find, because here's the thing, you will not think of stuff because you just go through the motions or you take it for granted. But it's like, no, you need to call stuff out. You need to call stuff out. How often do I miss something? Like, I can build a Voron V2 without a manual. I've done it. Did it before it was released. But it's like, I go from that to a project that's as simple of a build, but I haven't done it before and I'll miss stuff. You just kind of, because I get into the motions. You get into the motions and you just kind of, oh shit, it happens. So luckily it's 3D printing. So worst case scenario, you just reprint the part. If you screwed up that bad, just reprint the part. Okay, we got 1 minute to do the giveaway. 1 minute. If you have not entered for your chance to win some polymaker filament, enter right now. Link in the video description. We're going to do a giveaway, and then we're going to call it there. While you enter, I'm going to be drinking my delicious gamer subs. Use code Canuck. Save some money. So, wow. So if you don't know, Russia can't put people in space right now, okay? They got a lot of problems, but they can't put people into space right now. And that's because, for those that don't know, they launch their rockets over a pit. So most countries, you have like a water deluge system. The Russians dug a big hole. They have, I don't know, the pad sticks out over the hole, has a hole in the bottom, and then rocket launched to space and they just exhaust out the bottom, right? They don't have a water deluge. They don't need to, they have a big pit. So they have this like service tray that slides underneath the rocket so they can work on shit. And before they launch it, they pull it back. Well, this is what the service tray looks like, and it's upside down because after the last launch that they did, rockets like this, they pulled it back, okay? So after the launch, when the rocket goes up, it's forcing air down. It's like a Venturi effect. And this wasn't locked, so it just kind of went only a lot faster, overrode the stop at the end of the rail, and just went and fell. And not just fell, it flipped and landed down. Pad personnel struggled to secure the mobile platform before last month's botched Soyuz launch, but proceeded with liftoff anyways as to not disappoint bosses and tourists. That's not how you run a space program, folks. Delaying a launch because of a safety issue and just saying, let it ride because bosses and tourists were there. That's how people die. Luckily, it only, you can rebuild hardware, but Russians ain't going to space anytime soon because they only had like the one pad that could do human launches. Okay, because I think the other one's being built or it's out of commission. They used to have multiple, now they only have one. Because, they kind of have a budget problem right now because of a certain thing going on. Okay, let's do our giveaway. Let's do our giveaway. Remember, everyone who entered, you all liked the smash button, right? You all liked the smash button? Y'all liked it? Right? You scrolled down to like the smash button, right? You took the time to like it while you were down there. Checked out some of the affiliate links too, right? Right? Y'all checked them? File, save, load up marbles. Sorry, yep. The engines that those rockets use actually use like literally matches to light them. It works. It is extremely reliable. And poo-poo it all you want. The Soyuz manned system is like the most reliable manned launch system ever. Falcon 9 might catch up in the next couple of years, but they've been launching Soyuz for like 50 years. And like, they've had one like blow up on launch a couple years back. The side booster went to separate and then swung back in and hit it and caused an abort. So they actually ejecto seat cuzzed out of there and everyone was fine. Like, it is actually a very reliable, safe way to get to space on a Soyuz. Because it's like, shit simple. And very, very well proven. The problem is now you're running into issues of quality control. So the system is good. It's the people building, running, and maintaining the system. That's the problem right now. It doesn't help when a bunch of their educated engineers and whatnot were either left the country because GTFO, or they're visiting Ukraine right now. Why are they popping names up? Okay, how this works is if you win, you get a spool filament from Polymaker. But if I pick your ball and your ball wins, you also win a free hat. Who's this one? Ken Benobi. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. If you win, you get a free hat. Good luck. May the shorts be with you. Exclamation mark zoom zoom makes your ball go faster. Exclamation mark gullible makes everyone else go slower. Like the smash button, ring the bell, and be subscribed to the channel. And who knows, it might grease your ball up and make it go faster. Can't get parts. Yeah, that's another issue, getting parts. There's a whole bunch of, their whole system is effed right now. Yeah, Da Vinci, you can't say rigged until you're eliminated. After you're eliminated, you're allowed to call rigged. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. We got a sniper? We got some... Oh! Oh, we got some snipers. Oh! To Jose! At one point, I think you told me how to pronounce that name properly, but... Tojo Hs. Congratulations. You have won yourself a spool of filament from Polymaker. There we go. Okay, so we will call it there. Congratulations. You will get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament from Polymaker. That was quick. That was a quick one. I'm trying to remember, there's one map where it was like, it's like a 3-minute map and somebody did it in like 1 minute because they like skipped half of it. It happens every now and then. Okay. Yeah, with the snipe. It makes it more interesting, although it does suck. We had one recently where somebody was like in the lead for like half of it. And like just before they finished, somebody did come in and snipe it. And it's like, oh, but it makes it more exciting, right? Okay. So we are going to call it there. Again, huge shout out to LDO for providing the hardware and materially sponsoring this build series. Also, big shout out to Luke's Lab. They provided all the chibi tubes that we are using for this. So if you are interested in getting an LDO stealth changer kit for yourself, you can purchase that wherever fine LDO products are sold. If you are looking to get yourself a chibi tube or tube compact, a chobet, a chubit, if you're watching this video in the future, think of a funny name for the tube compact and let me know in the comments below. Check it out, lukeslab.com. Use code Canuck, save a little bit on that as well. And for those that donate to the channel, gifted memberships to others, or became members of the channel yourself, I thank you. Would not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create without your continued support. You make it all possible. Tomorrow night will be a print and chill stream. We'll either be doing screw sorting or faffing around with the big printer, trying to tune out some issues. It is the weekend. We're halfway through December. You got like 2 weeks until Christmas. Hope your shopping is done. And enjoy your weekend. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. I'll see you in the future. Bye. Bye. Wave goodbye. High five.